This is my Landrover 110. It currently has 0 brakes, so we're installing the LOF Powerboost. This is your standard brake servo and this is the one from the Powerboost. Bigger is better in this case. So I'll quickly show you how to install it and then we'll talk about who needs this. Alright, let's get going. Your brake servo might look a little bit different than this, but the first step is the same. You just want to remove all the brake pipes. Brake fluid is corrosive, so you do want to wear gloves and put some towels down to catch any spills. Once the brake pipes are disconnected, you'll want to undo the vacuum line, which sits on here. And then you'll want to undo the nuts that hold the master cylinder to the servo. And then you just pop it off like this. Easy peasy. In the pedal box, you've got these holes. There will be rubber grommets on them. Take them off. In here, you'll find this clevis pin. And this pin holds the brake pedal to the servo. There's a little retaining pin that sticks through here. You'll want to take the retaining pin out and then slide the pin this way. Don't lose the pin because you'll need to reinstall it. Once that is done, your old servo will be held on by 4 nuts. They're sitting on the back here. 2 on this side and then 2 on the other side. Take the nuts off and the servo comes right out. And here you can see how the pin sticks to the servo to keep it attached to the pedal box. So in order to install the bigger servo, we need this adapter. This adapter slides on 2 ways, the right way and the wrong way. First thing to know, if you buy a new servo, there will be flange nuts on here. Throw these away. Luke provides very nice nylock flange nuts with these, which you need to use. Then, like we said, the adapter slides on in 2 ways. So what you want to do is you want to have a look at your master cylinder, look how it mounts, and make sure that when you line it up, the reservoir points up. Right, so for these nylocks, you need a 30mm socket. So the machine hole is just big enough to fit your socket in, which makes installing very easy. So do them up finger tight. And then get your torque wrench out, put it at 25 Newton meters. And torque them up. Right, so adapter installed. So at this point we can slide the whole assembly back in place. Make sure the lever is oriented horizontally and make sure that your vacuum tube is on top. So, future Jorn here, I made a mistake. The vacuum connection should be facing down, not up, because otherwise the master cylinder is in the way of the connection. So I'm going to swap that around, but in some of the footage you see after this, it might still be facing up. Don't do that, make sure it's facing down. So when it's in, use these provided cap heads to do up the whole assembly loosely. And the reason you want these cap heads to be pretty loose is because you want to manipulate the assembly so that you can get the pin back in. Pro tip, don't forget to put the washer on before you put the pin in. So if you do drop the pin, don't look under the car, but look in the driver's side footwell. So I got kind of lucky getting the pin in by myself, but you might need to convince your mate to provide you with some free labor. And make sure you get a new split pin to secure that. Right, now that you've got the pin in, you want to tighten the cap heads. Just go finger tight on all of them. So do up the cap heads and tighten to 25 Newton meters. Excellent. So now it's time to mount the master cylinder. If you've got a 3-pipe variant that looks like this, 1, 2, 3. You want to remove the old O-ring and install the O-ring that came into your LOF kit. If you've got a 2-pipe variant, use the standard O-ring. Right, so be careful, no parts fall out. Slide it on carefully. And when doing up the bolts for the master cylinder, you also want to hit that 25 Newton meters. Now remember to put the rubber grommet back into your pedal box to keep your feet dry. And that's it, you're installed. If you got the master cylinder with 2 outlets, you can just hook these back up and Bob's your uncle. I talked to Luke from LOF Clutches and he said he gets the best results with the 3 outlet master cylinder. So what you then have to do is run new brake lines from the master cylinder to your brakes. I'm not going to show you that right now because there's plenty of videos online that show you how to do a proper job of running brake lines. So when should you consider the LOF Powerboost? The LOF Powerboost is basically just a bigger servo for your Landrover. What that does is make your brake pedal easier to push down. So you have to stomp the brake less hard to get the same amount of clamping force on those brakes. So a good time to upgrade would be if you're building a dream Defender like the 130 behind me, or if you're already replacing the servo or the master cylinder like on the old 110 outside. But there is one thing the LOF Powerboost does not do, and that is fix bad brakes. I am a strong believer that a well-maintained Landrover with properly adjusted brakes should be able to lock all 4 wheels without excessive effort. And that goes for all Landrovers. The TD5s with discs all around, the 110 with drums in the back, all of those should be able to lock all 4 wheels if you really stomp on that pedal. If you cannot do that in your current Landrover, something is wrong with your brakes. You need to figure out what the cause is, identify what you need to do to fix the root problem, and then decide whether you want the Powerboost or not. The Powerboost should not be a replacement for proper maintenance. So you might be wondering, if the LOF Powerboost doesn't fix my bad brakes, is it even worth it? Well, I obviously think so, because this will be the 3rd set that I'm installing. This is Mobs 90, it has had the upgrade for quite a while, and even though the braking performance technically shouldn't be better, it's just a lot easier to drive if the braking pedal is feather light. And to be honest, it's probably easier to do an emergency stop with that feather light pedal, compared to the old pedal that really does need a stomping if you want to lock all 4 wheels. One final note, I'm all for wrenching on your own cars. Landrovers are super easy to work on and you should be doing it. It saves you a couple bucks and it's a lot of fun. There are, however, two exceptions. One is steering and the second is brakes. If something is wrong with your steering or your brakes, it's probably not a very good place to start your first DIY adventure. Steering and brakes are absolutely necessary to keep you safe. If you mess up a repair on steering or brakes, Murphy's Law dictates that you will crash at the worst possible time, which is dangerous for you and everybody else on the roads. So if you're not confident, just give this upgrade to your mechanic and he will know what to do. Alright, that's pretty much everything. That's me out. Let me know in the comments if you've got any questions. And see you in the next one. Cheerio.